Have you ever considered how much meaning can be stored in a language? Beyond words and grammar, language carries group history, worldview, and culture identity. It holds way people understand the land, the season, their relationship, and their past. Today, I want to inform you about something that does not get the attention it deserves: the important roles of indigenous languages in North America. Languages that have existed for thousands of years are now a serious risk due to historical and ongoing challenges. In this speech, I will cover three main points: the cultural significance of indigenous languages, the causes behind their decline, and the revitalization effort that is happening today. Before Europeans contacted North America, it was home of hundreds of indigenous languages. According to UNESCO, over 300 indigenous languages were spoken where is now known United States and Canada. Each of these languages represent a unique way of seeing and understanding the world. For example, the Navajo language, one of the most spoken indigenous languages in USA, use verbs that describe motion and shape that English does not. But that's just not a vocabulary differences. It shows a completely different relationship with the physical world. Many of these languages are oral traditional. According to Wikipedia of endangered language in North America, they were passed from generation to generation, and not through books, but through story, songs, and ceremony. They were used to teach value, share traditional knowledge, and explain the spiritual nature. When language disappears, we lose more than just word. We lose centuries of traditional knowledge, medicine, spiritual belief, and community history that might never be recovered. So, how did all this happen? The primary causes of indigenous language loss in North America is colonization. Starting in the 1800s, both USA and Canada government implemented assimilation policy. One of the most damaging of this was the creation of residential and boarding school, where indigenous children were taken away from their family and placed them into school where speaking their native language were forbidden and often punished. As the Christian Science Monitor reported in 2024, Mohawk Language School was funded to respond to this traumatic legacy. These schools were not just educational institutions, they were designated to erase indigenous culture and replace them with American and European norms. On top of that, there's other pressure. According to Wikipedia 2025 article, the discrimination, forced relocation, and the dominance of English and French further contributed to the language loss. As a result, generation of children from the indigenous community grew up without their languages, and when they become adult, they did not teach their children because out of fear, trauma, or belief that this will hold them back. Today, roughly 175 indigenous languages still spoken in the United States, but about 75% are a serious risk of disappearing with oncoming decades. But here's the good news. Indigenous communities are fighting back, not with weapons, but with education, innovation, and languages. Across North America, indigenous are working hard to preserve their languages. For example, the Akanes Freedom School in New York teach entirely in Mohawk to promote fluency from a young age. As reported by GBH, news, schools like this are not only teaching languages, but also promoting pride and community healing. There's digital tools such as mobile apps, YouTube tutorial, and even TikTok where young people teaches grammar tips and vocabulary. In addition, government are showing more support. Canada passed Indigenous Language Act in 2019, recognizing the importance of protecting Indigenous languages. In the USA, similar effort existed under the Native American Language Act in 1990. These efforts are not just about saving languages, they're about reclaiming identity, history, and sovereignty. They're cultural, yes, but also deeply political and personal. In conclusion, Indigenous languages in North America are essential to culture, identity, and to traditional knowledge. Colonization and assimilation policy like boarding school causes dramatic decline in their use. Today, communities and alliances are working to revive these languages using school, media, and legislation. Understanding this history and effort help us to see a fuller, honest picture of North American history, one that includes voices that were once silenced but are now spoken again. So next time, when you hear the word Navajo or Lakota, remember, you're just not hearing a languages, you're hearing survival, resistance, and a culture refusing to be forgotten. Thank you.